Okay, so this is my second time recording this video, simply because I didn't know I had to do a little extra to make sure that the audio recorded. So I recorded this whole video. It was like 20 minutes of me talking and nothing was being said. I didn't really know how I wanted to do this Dear 2020 video because I don't really have like a lot of clips. I don't really have like a lot of highlights to talk about. It's not really the video collage that it usually is, but I was on Pinterest and I was looking a lot at like, I guess, the cyber aesthetic where people, I guess, take a lot of pictures on their computer, take pictures of themselves with their phone on their computer and things like that. And I was like, you know what? Like, I've been so engrossed with technology. If I didn't have a laptop, I don't know how I would have done anything because everything is online now. Everything's on Zoom. This is how everybody sees me. This is how people have met me. This is how I've done interviews. This is how I've done class. This is how I've done events. So I feel like if nothing else defines 2020, it's literally a webcam because that's where I spent most of my time. Thinking about the beginning of 2020, it's almost like a separate universe because it just doesn't even make sense that it all happened in the same year.
Be small or straight. No, you got
Okay, so what?
Look at her.
Red, white, and bagel type.
Y'all, what body are we on?
What does this do?
But besides that, this year there was a lot of Netflix, a lot of snacking, a lot of crying. So pretty much just like every other year, I started reading again, and I only read like 2.5 books for the whole year, but I'm excited that I revisited that hobby and I'm looking forward to reading more books in 2021. I worked out a couple of times, so you know, once again, that's pretty much just like every other year. I start and then I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. But on the other hand, I really got into meditation, and I feel like that really helps me and improve my mental health a lot. I started painting, if y'all can see. I'm not Basquiat or anything, but you know, we working on it. You know, maybe by the end of the year, I have some artwork that I want to sell, but nah, it's really just a hobby. It's really relaxing. I just really enjoy it. Another creative outlet that I think is pretty much just for me, nothing that I feel pressured to like do great at or, you know, show the world and get praise for. So maybe I picked up that little hobby. So I was also extremely vulnerable on social media this year, and it was really freeing. If y'all know what I'm talking about, I released like this documentary last summer, and I was so nervous to put it out. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is too personal. Like even when I was editing out like things that I thought were too personal. But you know, just letting go and letting people see the real you and just being real, being honest is kind of like the most freeing thing you could ever do. And I'm really happy that I did it because I feel more comfortable with myself now that I feel like I'm starting to show the world. And as a side note, honestly, I was really worried about people's responses, but for the most part, it was really positive. But I did find some responses really interesting because, yes, it was pretty dramatic, especially my trailer that I posted on Instagram, but I'm a very dramatic person, okay? And at the core of it all, like, I was just having a moment where I needed to figure it all out. I needed to figure out what my next step was. I needed to figure out who I was and who I wanted to be. Yeah, I cried a little bit and I recorded it. Well, I didn't mean to record it, but it just kind of happened. And then I posted it on the internet, something I said I probably never do, but you know, it was for the content. It was for art. It's so weird people find it odd to post yourself crying because literally everyone does it. Like literally no one goes through life without crying. It shouldn't be so alarming or so jarring to see someone cry and see someone upset, but it's just like we don't show that. And it's like, I think collectively we need to be as loud about our lows as we are about our highs, because at the end of the day, we're probably way more alike than we think. We're probably going through similar stuff and we don't even know, because you feel like it's not okay to talk about. And truly and honestly, I was just going through what everyone has or will go through at some point. And certainly I'm gonna have a moment like that again. I'm not always gonna have it figured out. I'm probably not ever gonna have it figured out, but that's kind of the fun part, I guess, of life. And I know some people will never tell me directly, or tell anyone else for that matter, but I know like someone watched that and could relate and felt like someone was going through something similar. Maybe someone that they may have perceived had it all together, or, you know, knew exactly what she was doing. To see them say, oh, like, I guess she doesn't know what she's doing either. Just knowing that people were impacted by it in that way was really the only purpose of creating it and posting it. And honestly, it's the only thing that truly matters. Thankfully, I got to see some of my friends this year. Those moments were definitely like the highlights of my year.
Three, two, one. Happy New Year!
On the other hand, I also had to let go of some people in unexpected ways, and people that I didn't expect to have to let go of. But if this year taught me anything, I just know that things happen for a reason, and I'm confident that it was for the best. But honestly, y'all, I don't think that this year was much different from any other year. Like, sure, it just looked a little different, but at its core, you know, some of the things that we experienced this year has always been happening, but we just didn't take the time to pay attention to it. And I was gonna say this year made me like a different person and something cheesy or corny like that. And while it did, I realized that I'm always growing and evolving. Who I am right now may be a different person than I am by the end of this day, by the end of the week, end of the month, and so on. So honestly, growing and changing as a person is not that remarkable in the grand scheme of things. But I guess I can say that this year has basically like slapped me in the face and showed me that things don't go according to plan. And that's something that's also has always been true, and has also been something that I just didn't pay attention to. But I think now I'm a lot more comfortable with the fact that things aren't gonna go as planned. Because no matter how much you try, how much you plan, things aren't gonna go the way you expect. They're gonna go in the way they need to go. And I think I just have more trust that I will end up where I need to be at all times. Like, there's never a mistake that happens in my life. So plans for next year include just continuing to do what makes me happy, following my intuition, and just completely letting go, because you really can't receive anything if you're just holding on so tightly to anything, whether it be money, whether it be your emotions, whether it be your plans, you know, what you think you need, what you think is supposed to happen. You can't receive your blessings, pretty much. I usually plan these out a little bit more and have some like nice closing remark, but I really can't think of anything. I just hope that however your 2020 went, there's something, at least one thing that really made you happy, or really, I guess, made you feel good, or, you know, maybe made you feel like even though all of this happens, at least this happened. I hope that each one of you has at least one thing like that. 2020 has taught me that no matter how bad everything hits the fan, I'm gonna be okay. There's a whole lot of trials and tribulations waiting for me, a whole lot of blockages, a whole lot of things not going according to plan, a whole lot of loss, a whole lot of sadness waiting for me. But I know that without that, I can't have any of the good things in life. And I know that's also waiting for me in 2021. Everything I want, everything I need, my next steps, living my life, all my plans, dreams, happiness, love, prosperity, all of those things are also waiting for me in 2021. And I'm literally just here to enjoy the ride. It's like a roller coaster, you know? Even though you know you're going up to that hill, you know your stomach's gonna drop, you know it's gonna be scary when you go down the hill, but you know it's gonna be a good time regardless. That's really how I feel about 2021. And you know, I'm gonna take you guys on the ride with me. I hope you guys are ready, and I hope I'm ready too. Well, I guess that's all. I guess our time is done for now. Subscribe to see more. Bye.